Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something straight from a man's heart. Every man who's serious about a woman will test her. Not because he's trying to play games, but because he's trying to find out if she's the one who can stand beside him when the lights go out, not just when they shine. See, a man don't test a woman he don't care about. He just walks away. But when he sees something in you, something real, he wants to be sure it's solid before he gives you his heart. When a man truly wants a woman, one of the first things he's going to test is whether she's genuine or just playing a role. See, men have been fooled before. We've seen women smile, say the right words, wear the right outfit, and play the part. But when life gets real, that mask falls off. So when a man meets a woman he actually cares about, he's not looking for beauty. He's looking for truth. He wants to know if you're the same person when no one's watching. He wants to see if your kindness is real or just a strategy. Every man who's been hurt or disappointed in the past learns to look beyond the surface. He's not testing to be cruel. He's testing because he's scared of falling for another illusion. A man will pay attention to how you act when things don't go your way. When he can't give you what you asked for, when plans change, when life throws something off track, that's when he's watching. Do you throw a fit? Do you guilt him? Or do you handle it with grace? Because if you can stay calm when things don't go your way, that tells a man that you're not here for convenience. You're here for connection. That's the kind of energy that draws a man in deeper. Men don't fall for perfect. They fall for peace. When you can show up as your true self, not trying to impress, not trying to manipulate, just being honest, that's when he feels safe enough to open up. See, a man can sense when a woman's love is conditional. If you're kind only when he's giving, if you're affectionate only when he's doing what you want, he feels that. But if you can stay genuine even when he's quiet, tired, or stressed, that hits differently. Men want a woman who doesn't switch up depending on the circumstance. And believe me, we notice everything. The tone, the patience, the little signs that show if you're in it for the man or the moment. When a man is testing your genuineness, he might do it subtly. He might talk about something he's insecure about just to see how you respond. He might share a story that reveals his weakness and watch whether you judge or listen. Because for men, vulnerability doesn't come easy. If you make fun of it or treat it lightly, he shuts down. But if you hold space for it, if you let him be human without making him feel small, that's when he realizes you're different. A genuine woman doesn't need to prove herself. Her energy speaks. She doesn't chase validation. She gives presence. And when a man feels that presence, when he sees that your intentions are real, that's when he starts letting his guard down. Men want to know if your words match your actions, if your smile comes from sincerity or strategy. Because a man who's looking for something real is tired of games. He's not testing to trap you. He's testing to trust you. And once he sees that you're not wearing a mask, he'll stop testing altogether because he's finally found what he's been looking for. A man who truly cares for a woman will always test her patience and consistency before he ever trusts her heart. See, men don't give their love easily, not because they don't want to, but because they've learned that emotions can be deceiving. A man wants to know if a woman's interest is steady or just situational. He wants to see if she's going to stay calm when he's not being his best, or if she's going to walk away the moment things get uncomfortable. Men value patience because patience is proof of genuine love. Anyone can love you when things are smooth, but it takes a real woman to stay patient when life feels uncertain. Men test patience in quiet ways. He might take longer to reply to your messages or seem distracted by his work. He's not ignoring you to hurt you. He's trying to see how you handle it. Because men know that consistency shows character. If you can still treat him with kindness, still support him without nagging, still believe in him without demanding every second of his attention, that tells him your love isn't based on convenience. It's based on respect. When a man feels that level of steadiness from a woman, he begins to relax. He realizes she's not in competition with his ambition. She's walking beside it. Men will sometimes create space on purpose just to observe your reaction. He wants to see if you'll question his loyalty every time he's busy, or if you trust his intentions even when you can't see his actions. That's not manipulation. That's protection. He's protecting his heart from inconsistency. When you pass that test, when you show up calm, composed, and centered, that's when he begins to open up emotionally. He starts sharing more, calling more, investing more, because now he knows your love can survive the quiet moments, not just the exciting ones. A man's test of consistency also shows up in how he pays attention to your energy over time. Are you the same woman 3 months in as you were on day one? Do you still speak life into him when things aren't romantic or exciting? Do you still smile, still laugh, still show love even when there's nothing big happening? Men notice that. They can tell when your effort fades as soon as you feel secure. And when they see that kind of shift, they pull back, because no man wants to build with someone whose loyalty is seasonal. Patience is not about waiting in silence. It's about waiting with peace. Consistency isn't about never changing. It's about staying true even when emotions shift. That's what men look for when they test the woman they really want. They're asking silently, can I trust her when life slows down? Can I lean on her when I'm tired? Can she hold my dream steady when I'm fighting for it? If your answer, through your actions, is yes, then you've passed a test deeper than words could ever describe, because to a man who's serious about his future, patience and consistency aren't just attractive, they're sacred. Men want to know if a woman can handle their silence, not just their conversation. See, ladies, a man's silence doesn't always mean something is wrong. Sometimes silence is his way of thinking healing or processing what he can't yet explain. When a man is quiet, he's not always shutting you out. He's trying to get his world back in order. And that's one of the biggest tests a man gives to the woman he truly wants. He wants to see if she can give him space without taking it personally. Because when a man feels pressured to talk before he's ready, he shuts down even more. But when he feels safe enough to be silent and still knows you're there, that's when trust begins to grow. A woman who can handle a man's silence shows emotional maturity. She doesn't assume the worst, she doesn't jump to conclusions, and she doesn't chase for answers that aren't ready to be spoken. She just lets him breathe. That calmness is what draws a man closer. When you can sit beside him without words, when you can still offer peace without demanding communication, you become a place of comfort, not conflict. Every man is looking for that energy, a woman who doesn't panic when he's quiet, but understands that silence is sometimes his form of survival. Now, this silence test can be tough, especially for women who express love through words. You want to talk it out, fix it, understand it. But for a man, silence is how he resets. He's not always ready to open up the moment you want him to. He's trying to find his strength again before he speaks, because when a man finally does talk, he wants his words to have meaning. And if you can give him that grace to gather himself, he'll respect you more deeply than you realize. Men test silence to see if you trust them enough to wait. If you start accusing, overthinking, or doubting during those quiet moments, it tells him you don't yet understand his rhythm. But if you can hold steady, he'll see that you're not just there for the fun and excitement, you're there for the quiet storms too. That's the kind of woman a man stays loyal to, because peace is rare in a world full of noise. When a man finally breaks his silence, he remembers how you handled it. Did you stay calm? Did you keep loving him through the pause? Did you give him room to think without making him feel abandoned? Those are the things that stick in a man's heart. The truth is, men don't always want to be understood. They want to be accepted. Silence is their test for that. If you can love him when he's quiet, you'll have his heart when he speaks, because any man who finds peace in your presence has found something he'll never want to lose. A man tests loyalty through distance, not just devotion. When a man truly cares for a woman, he doesn't always test her with questions. He tests her with space. He wants to see if her heart stays connected even when her eyes can't see him. Distance reveals what words can hide, because anyone can promise loyalty when they're together every day, but the real test comes when he's not around. A man wants to know if you'll still hold him down when life pulls him away, when work demands more time, or when circumstances keep you apart. That's when he learns if your love is rooted or just convenient. When a man creates distance, it's not always because he's losing interest. Sometimes it's because he's trying to build something for the future. He's out there grinding, trying to become the man he wants to be for you. But while he's doing that, he's watching how you handle the space. Do you stay faithful to the connection? Do you keep encouraging him even from afar? Or do you start doubting, complaining, and assuming the worst? Because for a man, that silence and space reveal whether your love is built on trust or insecurity. Distance brings out the truth in both people. When you don't hear from him as often, when the calls slow down, when he's tired and quiet, that's when loyalty is proven. Men want to know that the woman they choose won't fold under pressure. They need to feel that even when the world pulls them in different directions, the bond remains unshaken. And that's not about perfection, it's about faith. The kind of faith that says, I know who you are and I believe in what we have, even when I can't feel it every moment. Men remember the women who can stay grounded during that test. They notice the ones who still pray for them, still believe in them, still speak positively, even when things feel distant. Because to a man, that's not weakness, that's strength. That's emotional loyalty. That's love that goes beyond physical presence. And when a woman can love him through distance, she earns a different kind of place in his heart. He starts seeing her not just as a partner, but as a teammate, someone who won't crumble when life gets hard. Sometimes a man needs to step away to grow, to figure out his path, or to rebuild his confidence. And in that time, he's not just working on himself, he's watching you. If you can handle that period without bitterness, if you can stay loyal without constant validation, that's when he knows your love is real, because loyalty isn't tested in comfort. It's tested in silence, space, and separation. And when you pass that test, when you remain steady while he's away, you become unforgettable. Every man remembers the woman who stayed true when she could have walked away. That's the kind of loyalty that builds kingdoms, not just relationships. Men watch how you react to their struggles more than their success. Every man wants to know that the woman he loves won't just clap for him when he's winning, but will stand beside him when he's losing. See, success brings attention, but struggle reveals character. When a man is going through tough times, when money's tight, when his plans fall apart, when he's questioning his worth, that's when he's paying close attention to how you treat him, because that's when he sees who's there for the image and who's there for the man. A man doesn't forget the woman who stays soft when life gets hard. He doesn't forget the woman who encourages him when he's tired, who speaks life into him when the world makes him feel small. Every man will face a moment where his confidence takes a hit. Maybe his business failed. Maybe he lost his job. Maybe he feels like he's not providing the way he should. In those moments, he's not looking for pity. He's looking for peace. He's not asking you to fix it. He's asking you to believe in him while he fixes it himself. That belief, that calm energy, that reassurance, it builds a man up more than anything else. A man's heart rests where he feels supported, not judged. When you remind him of who he is instead of what he's lost, you give him back his strength. Men test women by watching how they respond when the dream is delayed. Do you complain and compare him to others? Or do you remind him that he's still the man, that his time is coming, that he's built for more? Because when you can speak to a man's potential, even when his reality doesn't look like it yet, that's when he starts seeing you as part of his purpose. Every man wants that one woman who looks at him like he's already standing on the mountain, even when he's still climbing it. That's the kind of love that transforms him. When a man struggles, his emotions can be hard to read. He might grow distant, quiet, or even frustrated, not because he doesn't love you, but because he feels like he's failing. And in those moments, your patience becomes the proof of your love. If you can stay calm, keep showing up, and remind him that he's still valued, you become his safe space. Men don't forget safe spaces. They remember the one who made them feel strong when they were weak. They remember the one who didn't throw their pain back in their face. The truth is, struggle exposes the foundation of every relationship. If it's built on money, looks, or status, it will fall apart when those things disappear. But if it's built on belief, respect, and love, it grows even stronger. That's why men test through struggle. They're not looking for perfection. They're looking for partnership, because a woman who stands by him in the dark is the